It's a theory. It's a Chris. It's a theory. Chris's crazy theory.
I think we need to get tinfoil hats.
You might need one.
I'm actually starting to think we should have like tinfoil hats ready for this, but
Oh, I like this. I like that idea.
yes, there is a lot of wind because we see it every time there's something like.
It all started, if we look back at the very beginning of Final Destination 1, the opening scene focused on the fan. And I started realizing like this is becoming more important than I realized. You know, like the agents in the movie The Matrix, you know, Death has to operate within the confines of the physical world. So it has limitations. That's why it wasn't able to kill Clear at the Stony Brook Hospital until she left. So it can't do everything. Like it has to work within the confines of reality. And I initially had assumed that Death was using wind as like a conduit, but I started to think maybe it's more than that. Maybe Death's true form is actually wind itself, an invisible entity whose presence can only be detected by the way it interacts with objects around it. So I have some examples that I want to show you just to make sure the audience is up to speed with us. So in Final Destination 1, we see it over and over again. This was the house where there was a windstorm that eventually made the electrical wire try to kill Clear and Alex. And then later on, there's a gust of wind right before the final death where the sign falls down. So I feel that wind is actually an evil spirit, and there's more to it throughout. This is Final Destination 2, right before Clear meets her final end when the fire gets her. The wind is blowing in her hair. It's a sign of what's about to come. Final Destination 3, there was wind from the roller coaster right before all of this started and that disaster. Final Destination 4, the final destination, we see the wind blowing the debris on the ground. So it's been present throughout, and obviously the biggest example is now in Final Destination 5, where the wind actually took out an entire bridge.
But see what I mean? Long shot looks good. Sorry.
Yeah.
See how that looks good?
It does.
It's the close-ups that look absolutely shit.
Yeah, yeah, you're 100% correct.
Did the wind blow the camera? Was there
the wind blew the camera. That was that would be evil. Yes.
It was the camera's too close to the wind for the close-ups. That's what screwed up the shots.
But I do feel the wind has been evil. And I don't use that term lightly, you know. Belief in evil wind spirits goes back a long ways and across many societies.
It's not tacos.
In Japanese culture, I know you were about to ask, what about Japanese culture, Chris?
Of course, that was exactly the next question of mine.
Right. It's like one mind. The Japanese once believed the wind was controlled by a monster named Fujin. And here's an image of that guy. It doesn't look that scary to me. But we have more Pazuzu. And this was the personification of the Southwest Wind and held kingship over the wind demons. So this is definitely something that has gone throughout society. I think that wind is actually evil. And again, I've learned that you tend to doubt me. And the other line, you have a psychologist ready to call me.
How could you think such a thing? That's better.
There is one more piece of evidence I have that wind is evil, and this evidence is so strong that even you cannot deny it. Without wind, good sir, the abomination that is Sharknado could never have happened. That is why wind is evil. Without wind,
channel.
Without wind, the sharks could not go into the sky.
Screw you, wind.
Exactly.
You made us suffer. We have been in eternal hell.
And that is my theory.
There we go. Evil wind.